There's something so funny about doing hive inspections or just handling the bees in general, because all sense of style, all cares of what I look like go out the window. Isn't that right, buddy? Before I get into the hives, I have been feeding, which today is the 3rd week of September. And I've been feeding the girls a 1-to-1 / 2-to-1 ratio of sugar syrup or sugar water. And the reason I'm doing that is because I caught, well, I didn't actually technically catch these swarms, but a friend caught these swarms and gave them to us in August, which is kind of a risk because these bees typically are weaker. They don't have a lot of resources. They don't have a huge colony. Hopefully the queen is laying fine, which these 2 queens are. I feel like at least one of my hives will make it through winter. It just kind of depends how bad the winter here is in Iowa. Anyways, I need to get this sugar syrup made so that I don't have to come inside and make that in the middle of my hive inspection, but I can have it ready to come inside and grab it. Because if I leave it outside during my hive inspection, the bees will find it before I get to it. I've been feeding the girls a quart of this sugar water every day, and the weaker colony, I mean, they could probably go through 2 quarts. Well, maybe I'll try that sometime. Maybe I'll kind of see how much they actually are consuming. It also depends on the day, obviously. If it's more rainy and stormy and cloudy, kind of like it is today, not the most ideal day to get into a hive. It's not storming, but on these days they don't forage as much and they're not, bustling out and about. And so they will forage from, the sugar water inside the hive that I give them. But the other colony, I'm kind of just like intrigued. I mean, I'm still new to this, but I'm intrigued because they're a bigger colony. They're twice as big and they don't always take all of the sugar water by the end of the day. So I don't know. This entire video is literally just going to be me showing you what I have been trying to figure out, what I have and have not figured out. But also a video where I'm going to request any other beekeepers to give me your 2 cents. I will take it with caution because I know beekeeping is different for everybody. Sugar water is ready. It's got propolis on it still. I am not ready. Come on, Bubba. I need to go get my suit on. Is this your doing, Baloo? Yeah, I believe it is. So the reason I'm getting into the hives today, which I just kind of told you is not the most ideal day to do this, is because, well, I need to get in there because it's been quite a few weeks. I need to see where the girls are at, how much they're building, if the queen is still laying, etc. Take notes. Just a general hive inspection. And our first frost is really right around the corner. And so I need to get in there to see how many resources they have. If there's any honey that, I just need to know how much food I should be supplementing this winter and what I should be prepared for. And also it's supposed to storm and rain for the rest of the week here. And so today of all days is a great day to get into the hive. It's like my greatest fear that somewhere along the line, I have put a hole in my suit and I don't know about it until a bee finds it. It's a little terrifying. Oh. Now, I have not been using my full suit to feed the girls until 2 days ago. I went to feed them and the jar slipped out of my hand because I tweaked out, if I'm honest, because a bee flew up and hit my hand and I thought it was trying to sting me. And my instant reaction was just to and I did not get stung. I don't know why I reacted that way. So annoying. But I dropped the jar and of course it squished a few bee girls and then they started to attack the jar because they thought that was it. And then the smart bees actually knew it was me and came after me with just my veil on. So I was trying to swat them away because there were just a few. And I was like, well, I am up on my roof right now, so I should probably get down and go put my full suit on and get this jar put in place and cover the hive back up before, other wasps and things come and try to steal their food. And so this was already my more aggressive colony. Like, they're the ones that I showed you guys the video of Caleb being stung 12 times. Yeah, so they were not happy. And there's a part of me that's like, they still remember me. They're gonna try to sting me. And then on top of it, it's the hearth, and they're all like, winter is coming. So we're just full suit, especially today because we're getting into the hive. So this that you guys are seeing right here, this looks like an orientation flight. Like we had some more bees graduate from the hive. If you notice, if you look closely enough, you'll notice that they're doing like figure 8 motions, and they're just orienting to the hive. And so they'll do this quite a ways out to remember exactly where home is. It's quite a few. I feel bad. I'm gonna interrupt what they've got going on here, and they're not gonna like that. Guys, these girls, they're definitely less of them. I am really eager to see what progress this hive has made. I call this the green queen hive. This queen should be marked with a green dot, and that one's marked with a blue dot. But this hive was much more docile, which isn't always necessarily a great thing, but they were significantly less. They were like your typical swarm size. Altogether, between the two hives here, I've probably got 20 to 30,000 bees, because I think they say it's like 15, I could be wrong, 15,000 bees per like deep full brood box. I need to get my smoker going to calm these girls down. Gosh, I do not want to interrupt their orientation flight, so maybe I'll just start in the other colony. I feel so bad. The more I get into these hives, the more I'm like, yeah, I see why people keep bees, literally just to give them a space to live, because I'm about to ruin what they've got going on here. So you might be wondering, why bees? My why is, one, I want to learn skills that, I don't know if this is on me. And you got a little dust there, darling. I want to be able to learn skills that if things were to hit the fan in this world, I would have them. And I'd rather have them now and not have to learn them in the moment. But also it's just another way for me to bring sustainability into our family and to be less dependent on grocery stores and other, organizations and groups and governments and stuff. And so by learning how to keep bees, my goal is to eventually have enough honey that we consume. I know we go through quite a few gallons a year, just a family of 3, but I would love to use this honey as a way to supplement like all the sugars. Now we do have a soft maple tree in the front yard that I could tap for maple syrup, but if you've ever tapped for maple syrup, you know that it takes a lot to make what seems like very little syrup. And I don't want to do that to our one individual tree in the front yard. And unfortunately, that probably just wouldn't be the wisest thing to do every single year. There's a yellow jacket flying around the camera. These things are just as hungry as my bee girls, but they ain't getting their food. So anyways, keeping bees up here on top of our garage roof in a little suburbia that you see right here. I mean, we're looking into my neighbors' backyards. This is possible. We can do this. And we have a house that, it's not entirely dangerous for me to be up here. This roof is fairly flat. I mean, it's completely fine. It's not like a regular house roof because it's just our garage roof. There's no reason why I can't do this. So why would I not? Now, people think smoke scares bees, and it doesn't technically. The reason that it's effective at calming the bee girls down is because when they smell smoke, they go and they eat all the honey because they think they're about to, get smoked out, fired, have to flee. And so they're consuming as many resources as they can, which you might be thinking, well, that's not good right before winter. The fact is once the smoke goes away, they learn that they're fine. And so they just continue doing life. One of the observations that I had of the green queen colony lately, actually it was like the last 2 days, I noticed that there was a bunch of drone bees, which I know in the fall, the ladies, all the worker bees end up kicking the drone bees out because they are just moochers. Literally, they don't contribute to the hive at all. They just mate with queens. They just mate with queens. That's literally their only job. And so they they preserve their resources by kicking out the useless bees in the colony. However, the other day I opened up this lid and I kid you not, like 10 of them just like flew out, like they were just hanging out up top by the sugar water. And I have no idea. Like I looked it up on the internet, and of course they say, well, that's like a sign that your, colony is about to swarm. And I'm like, they're not giving me any other signs that they're about to swarm. And that colony was doing the same thing. So I'm figuring that it's just the worker bees kicking them out. Hopefully that's the case. I mean, if a colony is to swarm like right now, like a few weeks before our first frost, that would just be dumb. Here we are. Not all of us make the best decisions. I think the smoker's ready. I'm going to go ahead and do the Green Queen colony first because these guys are doing orientation flights and frankly, I just don't want to disrupt them. All right, let's get this situated enough to where you guys can have quite a peek inside. I somehow managed to lose my Hive tool, which makes me so sad. Hey girl, what you doing? Just hanging out here, huh? There go the drone bees. So this guy, well, I tried to catch you guys a drone bee to show you, but they just fly off. So this is how I have been feeding them. They go through these quart glasses every single day. So I just pop them off the feeder. They're just set up on 2 pieces of wood so that they have more space to crawl underneath to get the water. And I just fill them up and pop them back in and then put the lid back on. But now I need to take this whole thing off and disrupt what's going on here. Well, hello, drone bee. Aren't you just a feisty little thing? You're so noisy. The drone bees buzz. They are noisy. Get this off. I'm gonna do my absolute best not to squish any girls because it makes them so upset. Rightfully so. And they use propolis, which is like bee glue, to basically seal all of these boards together. And it is so sticky, y'all. And it's super beneficial for human health as well. All right, chickadees. Fire! So they start to scatter. All right, ma'ams. Work with me now. And slowly pick this up. And just set it over here. So if you look at all this yellow stuff on the top that's sticking straight up off those frames there, that's the propolis. So they were closing in the spaces and basically gluing that top frame into the frames there. Girls are very calm, very calm. Now they're all clustering around in here, which tells me this is the brood chamber, which is pretty usual because it's in the center of the deep here. And that's typically where I find the queen, though that's not always the case. What I'm looking for in this colony is that they are still laying brood. I'd love to see the queen if I can, but that they're also drawing out the resources. And it looks like already that they have cleaned up a lot of these frames that I've already given them. There's one frame right here that I'm looking at right now that isn't drawn out at all. And sometimes they say that's because there's not enough wax on the frames. It's just a material they don't like, etc. So if that's the case, I'll probably just rotate it. Same thing here. This frame 10 and frame 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Frame 7. They don't look like they have anything drawn out much. Okay, let's just start with frame 1. I don't always need to get into all the frames, but we're gonna start with the outside one here. Man, good job, girls. You guys have really been working hard. Good job. I see you, little drone bee. Hello, girl. Almost squished ya. Oh, man, they've really got this glued in there good. Yeah. So this is one of the frames I gave the girls, thinking that they would clean it up. All right, let's put that back. I always want to move as slow as possible. So that's unfortunate. I was really hoping that they would have more drawn out, and they just don't, which I see this one's drawn. So frame 3, 4, 5, 6 are all drawn. That's literally just 4 frames. There's no way the girls are gonna make it through winter with this. Gosh, that makes me want to combine them with that first colony, but I really don't want to do that. All right, we're gonna go into frame 3 here. We're gonna skip a frame. This one I can see the girls are all over. Hello, you got pollen all over you, little lady. And not having my hive tool is quite the bummer. Goodness gracious. Oh, I see capped honey. We like that. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. If that's the case, this frame's about to be a little heavy too. Watch out, lady. Wow. Holy cow, girls. I do want to see if this is all honey or if there's also brood in the middle of it. Beautiful frame. Oh, I see the queen. You see the queen? She's marked with that green dot. Hi, Queenie girl. You're doing a great job. Yep. I see larva. There's the queen. Got the green dot on her back. What you're looking at there is some capped honey and lots of brood and larva. That's wonderful. This looks really great. That's a good sign. It's beautiful to see how the colony works, what all the jobs are. All right, now queen bee right there is in the middle. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in because I know she's not on the side there. Which means I'm less likely to squish her. Frames 3, 4, and 5 all had brood and capped honey and pollen. And frame 6 was not fully drawn. So frame 7 was also only capped honey on this side, the north side. Nothing on the south side. They were starting to draw out some comb there. But just enough honey that they started capping some, not a lot, and they don't even have the full frame drawn. Pardon me, trying to do this quick so I can get you guys closed back up. Oh yeah, see, this is just an old frame that I had when I bought all this stuff, so it's already been drawn. There's a drone. Yeah, the girls, they're still cleaning that up. They're not even doing anything with this one or the next one or the next one. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 3 through 7. I can see 2 right now, at least on the north side. Frame number 2 doesn't have anything. Oh, it does look like on the south side of frame 2 that they have some capped honey that I can see just from the top. So I'm gonna pull it out actually and check it. It'd be good to know if they have more resources here. And the queen was in this area, so I need to be a little extra careful. Oh yeah, they've got capped honey just on the top side of this frame. And they haven't even drawn it all out, so I think they're just using frame 2 as a resource as well, which is fine. Usually the brood chambers are near the center and then all the resources are towards the outside. And that is my green queen colony. Small and not super mighty, but we'll see. I really want to give them their best chance of making it through winter here. I'm going to feed the girls and get them all put back together so they can sterilize their colony again. Now they're trying to communicate something. That's why you can see like that girl with her butt up in the air. They'll do that during a swarm, like when you catch them and you move the queen, which I did just move this entire board. So it's interesting that they feel the need to communicate something here, telling all the other bee girls that, hello, this is our home. They do have a second entrance to this hive right here. So when I put the top deep up here, there's this tiny little entrance that some girls may have oriented to, and so I might have just disturbed that a little bit. I'm not sure. I wouldn't think that moving them, you know, from here to here for that short amount of time would make that much of a difference. But again, I'm new at this. What do I know? Okay, so my blue queen colony here, you can tell they've already kind of calmed down. I'm sure the smoke has blown enough in their direction. So usually this is my more aggressive hive. They haven't been as of late, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not a fan of me getting into their colony. So I'm gonna get into here, and if I see anything interesting, I'm gonna show y'all. Okay, right off on the bat, I see that the cluster of bees are kind of in the middle, which is what I anticipated. It's funny, they're starting to bridge together a couple of frames here. I noticed one, they're pretty calm right now, which is very unlike this colony. I see drawn frame here, here, here. I see it on the south side of this one. This one. I'm excited. I'm excited to get into this colony, so this is a good sign. All right, I'm gonna start with frame 4 here. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so they're drawing out honey on all of this comb. Now this comb isn't fully drawn out and they're starting to fill it with honey, which tells me that they know that they need the resources more so than they do the perfectly drawn comb. All of this is uncapped honey. Can you see that? That is so beautiful. Doesn't it just make you want to take a bite out of it? Because it does me. I can see they're doing the same to the south side of frame 3 up here on the second deep. I'm almost wondering if this entire second deep is going to be resources, which is ideal because in the winter you want the brood to be in the bottom and the resources to be up top. Wow, this is heavy. I wish you guys could feel this. All honey. Again, I've got some capped honey. That's what that is up there. It's heavy. Amazing. All right, so that was frames 4, 5. I'm just gonna pull up 6 here. This is the one they were really flocking around. So if there's gonna be any brood up here in this deep, it's probably gonna be this one. Yep, I called it. Here we go. They've got brood going on this frame, which is okay. We want a good colony going into winter, and they know that too. So also quite a bit of capped honey on there, which is a great sign. I don't even care if there's brood on there because I know there's going to be brood in the first box, but I do like that I'm seeing there's honey. There's honey on top, so that's good. And it's capped honey, so it's ready. Watch out, girly girls. They're getting a little angry. All right, so I don't need to keep looking at this box. I can see, just check over here real quick to see if they've got it drawn out. Got comb there. I don't see any honey or anything on the top, but that's okay. They have at least 5 to 6 frames of resources in here, which is amazing. This is usually the part where I end up squishing bees, and it makes me so sad. You guys didn't see that, but there was just a wax moth on the front of this hive chilling, and I just killed it because I don't want it in my hive. All right, I can see 1, 2, this frame. So we got frame 8, 7. I see brood all the way up to the top. That's awesome. Lots of wonderful comb here and lots of angry bees. This is frame 6. I see frame 5 also has lots of brood on it. 7 does as well. Honestly, these girls look good. I'm not going to check anymore. Get out of the way. You're going to get squished. All right, I'm going to get these girls put back together, get this hive closed up, and get out of this soup. So I'm starting to sweat like crazy. Hi, baby. Alrighty, girls. How are ya? Good job. I didn't hear one squish during that. That's amazing. Hey, Mama. Hi. I'm about to come down, baby. No. I don't think she wants to climb on you.
She's climbing on the stick.
So that's another one of my favorite things about beekeeping is, good job. I've been able to teach Silas about it, and though we are not necessarily homeschooling yet, we will be. And this is one of those things where most kids would have to take a field trip to an apiary, somebody's apiary. And even then, they wouldn't get this close. And Silas, granted, he needs a bee suit so he can actually come do inspections. But you want to show us what you got? Hey girl, what's she doing?
Can I come out now for a little bit?
No, baby, you gotta stay down there right now.
Poker?
Don't touch it, it's got fire in it still. Silas gets a lot of hands-on activity, literally. Like, he just had a bee poop on his foot, he said. And then he just picked this bee girl up. He tried to get her with there's a yellow jacket flying around me, so annoying. He tried to get her to climb onto her hand, which I think there she goes. She's on my hand now. Bees are not aggressive. Hey there, darling. And she fell off. But Silas even gets hands-on experience with handling bees and just learning how to read the nature of a creature that is not a human being. And no, not right now. And how they communicate, which we were already teaching him just from a young age with having 2 large dogs. But that's it, y'all. I just wanted to take you guys along and show you what I was doing and how I do a hive inspection. Just wanted to kind of give you guys some insight into how our bees are doing and how the colonies are looking. So again, I think this one is going to make it through winter. That one, I'm not so much. I'm going to remain hopeful and optimistic. But the reality is that they're just really, really small. They don't have a huge colony and they don't have a ton of resources. So only time will tell. Until then, I'll catch you on the next video. See ya.